solution that won't last more than a couple of years.
What about anti-data leakage?
Sorry? Anti-data leakage? Probably when it matures, it'll be a valuable technology. The reason I say NAC is irrelevant, I'll elaborate on it very slightly. So this is a personal opinion, not a Jericho opinion. Although there is a paper on NAC out of Jericho. Is basically you need so much up-to-date network technology to do it. If you want to annoy someone who's implementing NAC within your system, and they say, you know, what does the check do? What triggers the check is the question you ask them. And they say, oh yeah, well when I connect to your network. So when I plug it into your network port, and that's fine as long as I've got all latest, greatest Cisco kit or whoever's kit, or I connect my VPN connection to my VPN 3000 sitting at my border, which I'm not going to have anymore, by the way, deeper into our solution. So the question to ask is, what's going to trigger the check? Because when I'm sitting in a hotel, what infrastructure have they got? Where's my network connection being made? When I plug my network jack in, it's in the hotel. In my new paradigm, I'm then just going to be using secure protocols to talk straight into the middle of my organization. So what's going to trigger the NAC check? It's not. You're never going to get that trigger to say, this machine now needs to be quarantined because the machine is actually doing the connection on a hotel network. So, yeah, it works beautifully in this situation. The only place it actually works reasonably well is on a wireless network, an in-house wireless network. Because generally you're putting in new infrastructure. So you've got a base layer which probably supports it. And you've got a lot of strange machines coming in. So maybe just about feasible on wireless. On existing infrastructure, I mean, my network is 400 sites in 55 countries. And we probably have a 7-year cycle process on renewing that network infrastructure. So that probably means that 95% of my infrastructure currently won't support NAC. And the money to replace that, to get us all up to the same level? And why should I do it in one office when, hey, I can go down to the Philippines and connect there? Yeah, security is only as good as the weakest link. So.
My experience of pen testing, especially on the client side, I just realized that it's not really decreasing the complexity. Having a laptop that is self-protecting is adding so much third-party software that you don't know they will be working on your platform. Like you take one antivirus, you put it on Vista, blue, red screen. You put it on SP2, blue screen. So then you just go backwards in version, try to add everything code together, and then you just, in the end, not increasing your level of security, but you're adding flaws on it. Because this antivirus is using, I don't know what, outdated version of libzip, or I don't know what, the IPS, because you will need it in the end, because, I mean, your operating system is not ready from the technology to cope with that kind of usage, right? And you're just spending your time patching up, adding stuff, and nowadays, I mean, my problem is more in all these third-party softwares I had to have this self-defending laptop, because it can't do it by itself. And on the other hand, having this crappy network that prevents me to, I mean, just communicate, you know? This model works very well the day we will have IPv6 in the world. But when? That's the question. You will need VPN all the time because you are in an active network. So if someone wants to join you, how do you do? Instead of using Skype or...
I would agree with you from the point of IPv6. I mean, I'm in an interesting position that we run 5 legal class Bs. So actually, I can take my borders down tomorrow because we're already legally addressed on everywhere inside ICI. Absolutely, there is a problem with how you deal with NATing. I will agree with you. In terms of the amount of stuff you have on your PC, yeah, the worst case we found is someone who had 4 copies of different versions of antivirus on his machine. and he was wondering why his machine wasn't working that well. So my tech support people told me that one. The reality is that, yeah, you know, why do we need dual-core processors? Why? Because our machines now are spending 50% of their time, you know, running all the security software and all that overhead that's actually sitting on that machine. So from that point, you're absolutely right. If you actually start to simplify it, remember we talked about, you know, simplifying this stuff makes it work better, faster, simpler, and everything else. If you think about it, notwithstanding the people in this room, what does your normal corporate laptop need to do? Well, they need to do email, perhaps accessing a few resources, and they need to you know, do some web, and perhaps in the future some voice over IP, let's call it Skype, for the time being. So from that point of view, if you want to protect your corporate laptop, let's actually have a decent personal firewall that says, the only thing I'm going to allow in and out of this laptop is inherently secure protocols. So my email is coming in and out, but that's been washed at the front end by Message Labs. Yeah, so that's 100% guarantee, no malicious code. Yeah, 4 years, 100 million emails a year, we've had no malicious code out of Message Labs. Not meant to be a Message Labs advert, but it works. So my email comes in, secure protocol, notes over TLS, let's say in my case, to my remote PC. So I have a firewall that says, I will allow you to talk secure notes. I need to do web. Well, I've already got a service that cleans my web. It's effectively a Message Labs for the web. So no malicious code coming in returned via the web, whether I'm inside the organization or outside the organization. So I only allow a secure connection to my in-the-cloud service provider who's providing my web cleaning. So there's protocol number 2 that I'm allowing through. And then, what else do I need to do? Skype? Well, Skype is, we can argue about whether it's secure, but it's pretty good. So, secure voice over IP, let's call it, is my third protocol I'm going to allow through my tunnel. But that's going to take 95% of what my users need to do. Anything else they need to do, I can probably front-end screen scrape onto an HTTPS service for them, via the web. So now I've got 3 secure protocols running through my firewall, and that's it. How is anything malicious going to get into my PC?
So basically, if I understand the way it works, is you've been replacing a VPN, an IP-based VPN tunnel to an application-level VPN tunnel to someone. So you have some kind of per application VPN tunnel to someone. And my question is, what if it doesn't work? Because now the problem of people is, I can't fire up my VPN connection on the network I'm in, and you have the same problem, right? If you can't able to, like fire up your TLS connection to your web watching system, then you have no web.
Correct, absolutely, and which is why you need open and secure protocols. Because unless you operate with a set of standards that we all agree to, we're into this great fun at the moment, something we have with IPsec, which is every person's version of IPsec, from AT&T to Cisco to Checkpoint, is very slightly different. It doesn't work through people's firewalls and security on the bits and pieces. So we have to agree some basic open protocols that everyone is going to use, which is half of what Jericho's around to drive some of these. But anyway, I've been given the red sign, so thank you very much indeed.